Grass block. A grass block is one of the most common natural blocks in Minecraft, covering much of the overworld's surface. It's also one of the oldest blocks in the game, added all the way back in May 2009 during the pre-classic phase, alongside stone and dirt. Grass blocks actually change color depending on the biome, which is why jungles look vibrant while savannas appear dry and dull. They can also spread to nearby dirt blocks, as long as there's a light level of 9 or higher above them. If you want to collect one, you'll need a tool enchanted with Silk Touch, or hunt an Enderman holding one. Using bone meal on a grass block will grow short grass, tall grass, ferns, and flowers, making it perfect for decoration. Sheep interact with grass in a unique way. When they eat it, the block turns into dirt. But if the sheep has been sheared, it will regrow its wool. Baby sheep graze more often than adults and even grow faster because of it. Using a hoe turns them into farmland, while a shovel creates a dirt path as long as there's air above the block. Podzol. Podzol is a dirt-type block that generates in specific biomes like old-growth taigas and bamboo jungles, as well as in trial chambers. It can also form when you grow a large spruce tree using 4 saplings in a 2x2 area, replacing nearby blocks like grass, dirt, mud, and even moss. Unlike most dirt-type blocks, Podzol never spreads to dirt blocks, and it does not become dirt if a solid block is placed on top of it. Additionally, neither grass nor mycelium can spread to Podzol. You can place mushrooms on Podzol at any light level, allowing you to grow huge mushrooms almost anywhere. Other plants like saplings, flowers, and sugarcane can also be placed on it normally. You can't till Podzol directly into farmland, but you can use shovel to turn it into a dirt path, then use a hoe to convert that into farmland. To obtain Podzol, you'll need a tool enchanted with Silk Touch. Defeat an Enderman holding one, or trade with a wandering trader for 3 emeralds. Mycelium. Mycelium is a rare variant of dirt found only in mushroom field biomes. It has a unique particle effect that looks like tiny spores constantly rising from the surface. Like grass, mycelium can spread to nearby dirt blocks, as long as there's a light level of 9 or higher above it. Mushrooms and even nether fungi can stay on mycelium at any light level, making it perfect for growing huge mushrooms. Just like Podzol, mycelium cannot be directly tilled with a hoe to make farmland. So you need to use a shovel to turn it into dirt path, then tilled with a hoe to create farmland. To obtain mycelium, you'll need a tool enchanted with Silk Touch. Or defeat an Enderman holding one. And for some reason, it's the only dirt-type block that Sniffer cannot dig. Dirt path. Dirt paths are decorative blocks created by using a shovel on most dirt-type blocks. You'll mainly see them in villages, where they act as roads for villagers. They can be made from dirt, grass blocks, coarse dirt, mycelium, podzol, and rooted dirt as long as there's air above the block. While they're mostly used for decoration, dirt paths actually have a useful mechanic: hostile mobs can't spawn on them. They're also slightly shorter than a full block, only 15/16 blocks tall, which means things like torches, buttons, and other items that require a full block can't be placed on top of them. The idea for dirt paths actually came from a suggestion post on Reddit, and was finally released by Mojang in 1.9 update. Coarse dirt. Coarse dirt is a special variant of dirt that grass and mycelium simply cannot spread onto. You can find coarse dirt in large patches across biomes like windswept savannas, wooded badlands, and old-growth taigas. Coarse dirt drops itself even when mined by hand, although a shovel is still the fastest tool. You can also craft it using 2 dirt blocks and 2 gravel, or get it from an Enderman holding one. Despite its rough appearance, coarse dirt is surprisingly useful. Saplings, sugarcane, bamboo, flowers, and sweet berries can all grow on it normally. Using a hoe on coarse dirt turns it into regular dirt, which can then be tilled again into farmland. Using a water bottle, splash water bottle, or lingering water bottle converts the coarse dirt into mud. Rooted dirt. Rooted dirt is a decorative dirt-type block found underneath azalea trees. As the tree generates, rooted dirt spreads downward in a rough 5x5 area beneath the trunk until it eventually reaches a lush cave biome below. Much like coarse dirt and podzol, grass and mycelium can't spread onto it, and it won't turn into regular dirt even if a block is placed on top of it. Like several other dirt-type blocks, rooted dirt can also be turned into a dirt path using a shovel, as long as there's air above it. This block has a unique interaction with bone meal. Using bone meal on rooted dirt causes hanging roots to grow underneath the block, and if you use a hoe on it, the rooted dirt turns into regular dirt while also dropping hanging roots as an item. Just like coarse dirt and regular dirt, adding water to rooted dirt transforms it into mud. To obtain rooted dirt, you can mine it with any tool or by hand beneath azalea trees. Defeat an enderman holding one, or buy it from a wandering trader. Farmland. Farmland is a block created by using a hoe on most dirt-type blocks, and it's essential for growing crops like wheat, carrots, potatoes, and other seeds. It naturally generates in villages and even appears in certain woodland mansion rooms. Like dirt paths, farmland is slightly shorter than a full block, only 15/16 blocks tall, which means hostile mobs can't spawn on it. But farmland also has another mechanic: hydration. If there's water within 4 blocks horizontally and on the same level or 1 block above, the farmland becomes hydrated. It can also be hydrated by rain, allowing crops to grow more efficiently. There's also a surprisingly useful farming trick. Planting different crops next to each other, like alternating rows of wheat and carrots, actually speeds up growth by preventing the slowdown caused by grouping identical crops together. Without water, farmland will eventually dry out and turn back into dirt if nothing is planted on it. Farmland is also more fragile than it looks. Jumping on it, placing a solid block above it, falling onto it, can instantly turn it back into dirt regardless of whether it's hydrated or not. When this happens, any crops planted on it immediately break and drop as items. Interestingly, any mob smaller than 0.512 cubic blocks can't damage farmland in Java Edition, like chickens, rabbits, cats, and foxes. Ravagers are also unusual. They don't turn farmland back into dirt when walking over it, but they do destroy every crop planted on it. Dirt. Dirt is one of the most common blocks in Minecraft, found beneath grass blocks across most overworld biomes and scattered throughout underground caves. On average, a single chunk can contain around 1,850 dirt blocks in biomes like plains, forests, jungles, snowy plains, and windswept hills. Despite how common it is, dirt is incredibly important. It's mainly used for farming, but because it's so abundant, players also use it as a cheap building material or temporary scaffolding. Many other blocks eventually turn back into dirt as well. Grass blocks and mycelium die and become dirt when covered by solid blocks, while dirt paths instantly revert to dirt if a block is placed above them. Breaking blocks like grass, podzol, mycelium, farmland, or dirt paths without silk touch also drops dirt instead. And surprisingly, dirt is actually renewable. One method involves crafting coarse dirt using gravel and dirt, then tilling the coarse dirt back into normal dirt using a hoe. Since gravel can be obtained through piglin bartering, this creates a renewable dirt source. There are also more unusual methods. Using bone meal on moss can spread it onto nearby stone, and growing azalea trees can convert moss into rooted dirt. Large spruce trees can even transform nearby moss blocks into podzol, which can eventually be turned back into dirt as well. And finally, like several other dirt-type blocks, using a water bottle, splash water bottle or lingering water bottle on dirt transforms it into mud. Mud. Mud is a block commonly found in mangrove swamps and occasionally inside trail ruins. But unlike most natural blocks in Minecraft, mud can also be created manually. Using a water bottle on dirt, coarse dirt, or rooted dirt instantly transforms the block into mud. Interestingly, this normally won't work on the underside of a block, although dispensers can still do it. Mud is not a full block, meaning players and mobs sink slightly into it, similar to soul sand. But unlike soul sand, mud doesn't slow movement at all. It also has several unusual physics interactions. Falling blocks like sand and gravel break into item drops when landing on mud, and hoppers placed underneath mud can actually collect items through the block. Even items sitting on top of mud will move along with it if the mud is pushed by a piston. Mud is also an important crafting ingredient. Combining mud with mangrove roots creates muddy mangrove roots, while crafting mud together with wheat creates packed mud. But one of mud's most interesting mechanics is that it can slowly turn into clay. If mud is placed above pointed dripstone, the water gradually drains out and converts the mud into a clay block. And strangely enough, growing an azalea tree on mud converts the mud into rooted dirt, which can then be turned back into regular dirt using a hoe. Clay. Clay is a block commonly found in lush caves and in shallow water across rivers, lakes, and swamps. Clay is an incredibly useful resource. It can be smelted into terracotta, or broken into clay balls, which can then be smelted into bricks. When mined normally, a clay block drops 4 clay balls, and using a shovel is the fastest way to collect them. However, if the tool has silk touch, the block drops itself instead. Unfortunately, the fortune enchantment doesn't increase the amount of clay dropped at all. Clay can also be obtained through villager trading or by defeating an enderman holding a clay block. And in Java Edition, players with the Hero of the Village effect may occasionally receive clay blocks as gifts from mason villagers. Clay also has some unusual interactions with plants. Big drip leaves, small drip leaves, mangrove propagules, azaleas, and flowering azaleas are the only plants that can be placed directly on clay. And unlike most other blocks, clay supports small drip leaves even outside of water. If an azalea tree grows on top of clay, the clay block transforms into rooted dirt, bringing the entire dirt progression full circle.